We about. All right, we're live now. Thank you guys for watching today this program. As I said, always I do all my programs live. You'll have a chance to see this program later if you're not live right now. Unfortunately, I can do have guests all the time at the same time, but as they come, I think so it's a benefit for everybody to know who they are, what do they do in their life, what do they do differently, and also the all entrepreneurs, people that had a business, had a career before and decided to go on themselves. So today we have our guests at Tuxedo Car Cleaning. They are located in Fort Myers, and we have Rebecca and Derek, their husband and wife, and they're gonna share with us their story and the challenges they went from, and we'll see. And here we are with Tuxedo Car Cleaning. Derek, Rebecca, nice to meet you.
You as
Pleasure,
well.
pleasure.
So Rebecca, how do you, or Rick, tell us, how do you get started in this business?
Well, it was a course of serious things. I have always gone from career to career, pretty much in I want to say the government sector, and pretty much things have not worked out the way that I anticipated to work out. So I started really digging into some side hustles and some side jobs, and I found that tuxedo car cleaning is I came up with the idea, but it was looking at a series of YouTube videos and getting educated because I wanted a change. I wanted a different direction. I wanted to be the author of my book instead of putting my fate in someone else's hands, because then you're on their terms and their conditions. So one of the things that have learned over the years is to mature into growing. So that's what kind of like pushed me there. I like having the fate in my hands. I like having the control where I can, spend time and quality time and things like that.
Perfect. What about you, Rebecca?
So it was all his idea. He came up with it. Like he said, it originally started as a side hustle. I always did the back end of it. So he did the grunt work and I did the appointment setting, the managing the money and things like that. I did all of that for the longest time while he went out. Him and my oldest son actually is what got it started. And he would go out and teach my oldest son, work ethic and things like that. So that's how it started with. It was all him.
What did you used to do, guys, before?
So I used to be an insurance agent. I sell property and casualty insurance. So I'm still licensed, but that's what I did prior to this.
Okay, perfect.
And I used to be a correctional officer, so I dealt with inmates and things like it. But that's what my focus. That was me.
Okay, perfect. So how do you get started? How do you start finding your customers? Because I think so from being an employee and have that security that someone else is telling you, just do your job and I got pay you, and then you arrange yourself, then you came out to this idea of starting your own business. And I'm sure there's a lot of fear into that because then you're not going to have that income coming in every month now. That income has to be generated by you. So how was your experience, that transition from that fear that most people have in their mindset, how things are going to work out?
That's a good question. I think for me, is I had a lot of college. I went from college to 2008 to 2011, and I've taken a lot of courses in there, but I've also like spoke to various entrepreneurs. Why at Hodges University? That's the university that I attended, and it was one of those things where they always emphasize on people starting their own business, because now we are living in an age where we have to be innovators. We have to be strive with creativity. One of the things that kind of motivated me was Amazon. Jeff Bezos, that's the right. He's the founder of Amazon, and look at him now. You have Steve Jobs. They pretty much started in the garage and they built their way up, and it's just discovery. So I used when the recession hit around, I want to say 2008. That's when I went to school and I
Hold
started to
on,
build my
hold
skills.
on. I think so we're having a little bit of a signal problem. Are you still there?
I'm
Yeah,
still
we're
here.
here.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I think so that it kind of freeze a little bit.
Oh, did we? Oh no.
So you were saying that your inspiration was the founder of Amazon,
Yes,
and because
yes,
he started, go ahead.
yes. Amazon, I mean, Steve Jobs, these are all Bill Gates, these are all entrepreneurs at some point who had a vision, who had an idea, and they manifested it and they brought it out to light. So those are the one of the things, and you study this, and you go to college and you go to college and you read various articles. And not that college is not for everyone, but I went there because I wanted to elevate myself. I wanted to get away from the dysfunctional things that I've learned. I basically had to unlearn everything to learn something new, if that makes sense. So that is what motivated me and Strive.
So one thing also that we did was, like we said, he started it as a side hustle. So it wasn't his main income. It was just on the side. He went full time last January. So we're almost 4 years in. So he did it part time for about 3 years until we got enough clientele built up. And then he was able to go full time. And then about 6 months after that, I went full time. What we did to get our clients was I started a Facebook page. That was number one. And then I'm also in a mom's group on Facebook that has about 15,000 women in it. And I just started posting on there. You're allowed to post twice a week. And I posted on there. We kept our prices super low so that it was affordable for people. And it also gets our foot in the door. And that's really what got us started. Mom started taking advantage of it, having us out there, and then it started spreading with word of mouth. So now we have almost 2,000 followers on our Facebook page in about 4 years. So that for us, that's pretty huge. So that's how we kind of got our foot in the door, but just worked slowly and got us to where we are now. But he, like he said, he watched the YouTube videos, learned how to do it, went to Walmart, bought supplies at Walmart, and that's how we got started. And then just started doing details. And we actually, some of our first clients we still do now, so it's that repeat business as well. And when you do a good job, people will tell everybody that you do a good job.
Let me ask you a question. If you, now that you have your experience of doing your business, how has your life changed from what you used to do before as an employee as today as your own business? Has your life improved? How does change has happened?
I look at the aspect of has it changed. Well, I can tell you, I control my own destiny, and I believe that's you got to take fear out of the equation. Fear creates doubt, and so it's changed in ways where I get to spend more time with my family. I've been on some jobs, and I was very grateful for it. But when you need to take that time off, for example, you know, my wife could be, sick, or one of my kids could be sick, and we need to, take off so they can go to the doctor or something like that. That's always important. And I just feel the need that it's family based. So we decide, hey, we're gonna take this day off and we're gonna make family time and make memories. That trumps anything. I mean, we're talking about making memories for the day. If we want to say, hey, let's go out of town for the day, and we take the family and we go out of town, and that is worth it. I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely changed. For me, I absolutely love it. First of all, it's not 9 to 5, and we make our own schedule. If we don't want to work on a Friday, we just don't book details. If we have something big coming up and we need more income and more money, then we just work more. So there's definitely that flexibility. And like I said, you make your own schedule. You work as much or as little as you want or need, but you do have to have that discipline to work because it's easy to not, obviously. So you have to have that discipline. Okay, I have so and so bills that are due. I have to get out there and wake up and go and work. And if you don't have details booked, you got to get out there and find them. You have to market yourself. And marketing yourself doesn't always cost money either. That's a thing. Facebook, like I said, is huge for us. That's where we get most of our clients from. And Facebook's free. So that's something people have to utilize, those free avenues. Social media today is absolutely huge. When him and my stepson first started, or him and my son, sorry, his stepson first started, they would go to Walmart parking lot and put business cards on people's cars. They would go to Kohl's parking lot. You know, they would get out there and go business to business, as long as the business didn't have a no solicitation sign, of course, and would go and say, hey, here's my information. Check me out. If you want a detail, call us. You know, we'll come out and take care of it for you. So you have to have that ambition to be an entrepreneur, though, because if you're lazy, it's not going to work. You're not going to be successful. You have to have that ambition.
Yeah, I think so. It's true. I mean, when you saw it, I think so. I always talk to people this is you can create when you can see it, but you can only see it before it's actually being created.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw the opportunity, and then you move towards. You believe that the customer eventually will come out. They have to clean the cars, and sometimes they can do in the car wash automatic, but that doesn't do a good job. Then sometimes you need that car. I think so. It was brilliant from you to put it on the women's side and the mother, because they have all those. I mean, I have kids. We have ice cream in our cars. We have candy in our cars. You lift those chairs, and you have candy and ants, and I think so. They host a whole family of different animals and things that live out there. So once in a while, have them that clean definitely give us a good help.
For sure. For sure. Yep. Absolutely. So one thing, like I said, too, that we started our prices very low. And then as we, you know, got better at our craft, and as we, you know, were more experienced, then we started, you know, slowly increasing our prices to where it's still affordable. We're still compatible or comparative to other detailers, but it's still, we're making more money off of it as well. You know what I mean? So that's the whole point. You don't just pay for your time, you get paid for your experience as well. You know, we might be able to do a car in an hour and a half, and it could cost, you know, $150, let's say, but we do it fast because we have all that experience and we know how to get it done quickly. We don't have to spend all day doing a car and only make $150. You know what I mean? There have been times where we've finished a car in an hour, and you can really make some good money. You definitely can, but you have to also make sure that it's reasonably priced for your clients, of course, but there's that balance there too.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good thing about entrepreneurship, and I think so. You put it there right. Most people make what, 25, maybe between $15 and $30 an hour. You see, if you are you went to college and you are on a job, you're making maybe $25, $30 an hour. But the difference is that you could probably have maybe 5, 10 cars a day. You're making $150 each. That's $1,500 in one day.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely.
That make a big difference. Normally when people will work the whole week for $1,500, you're making just in one day.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. So it's definitely given us the freedom to be able to enjoy life a little bit more, obviously. And just if we need to do something, if we want to go do something that, you know, costs a little bit more money, we can just work harder to get to it, you know? So it definitely makes achieving our goals much easier than just, you know, the $15 an hour. And then you're just working for someone else, you know, they don't really, at the end of the day, they don't really care about you. You're just a number, you know, they just want you to give them what they need to make them even more money, you know? So it's definitely, I wouldn't change it at all.
I always say to my clients that mostly my clients are employees who want to start their own business, and they come to this fear of doing this transition from being an employee to their business. So I always tell them it's a process to change your mindset from being an employee to be a business owner, and it takes time. We gotta plan it. So the program that we have does that. But also, one of the good things in this is that the when you start your own business, as you said, you have your own time. Now you work so much in a job that no matter how much you work, eventually you're gonna reach a ceiling. I remember in the car business, sometimes sales managers that don't sell cars, they would restrict the commission on salespeople because they didn't want them to make more money than the manager. Well, they were the one doing the most of the work.
Mm-hmm.
So the other good thing about probably entrepreneurship or starting your own business is that you also start building your self-confidence, and you realize that how all those abilities and skills that you have can be used for your own benefit. Something I
Absolutely.
always said to a lot of people is when you're an employee, your employer pay you, and this is an average, between 10% and 20% of what you are worth. So for example, in sales, and this is easy because sales is what produce most of the money in the business, but it applies in everything. If in sales you bring $1 million a year in sales, they're gonna pay you about $100,000.
That's insane.
But the thing, you produce $900,000 more. Now those 900,000 will pay the CEO and all the big companies and advertising and all of things. But who actually go and do the work and do the sale is a salesperson. They get about 10 to 20% of what they make. If you are a support, of course, you get to pay the same, even a little bit less, because your role is not really making any sale, but it's more on the production side or human resources part or marketing. So it changes a little bit the variable, but it is like that. So when you start your business, you realize that all the money that you used to make, you can actually make in a very short period of time. I think so. The fear is for most people is how to find those clients, and I think so. You came out with that. You can find your clients in internet, and we have 3.5 billion people active users on Facebook, and so I'm sure there's gonna be a big percentage out of that actually can do car cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you another question. If you were to, Derek, you came up with this idea. If you were to start all over again, what would you have done differently?
I'll tell you, I went through a series of a lot of jobs in my whole life, and we are living in a right to work state. So that means it doesn't matter what you do. Sometime it could be politics on the job. I think the things that I would do differently, because I've always believed in the secret with Rhonda Burns, which is if you create it with your mind, it shall manifest. So it's a lot of analogies towards that. So does a man think of, so will he become. I think I would start this thing very early. I would start it early because as we seen before, I mean, let's see, let the economy be a witness. Thousands of people were losing their jobs during the recession, with no way to make money, and you never want to be in that situation. So what I would do differently is, and I know this is going to sound, but I will hire, get a mentor, get a coach, someone to get me through it because I didn't have that coming up. It was just myself. So basically, I took the long way, the long avenues in life instead of going to the source. We're taught, we're conditioned that we have to work, and then we have this big old pension and we have this big retirement, but it's what you make out of it. And being an entrepreneur, you have an opportunity to put so much in your Roth RAs. You can have a coach that can set you up. So you have to eliminate the fear. And one of the things that I would have done early in pertaining to this is I would have pretty much like I've done now is the job that I have now, I utilize that as a stepping stone. So while I'm showing up at the workforce every day, I'm constantly shuffling money in the back end. So, you present a big old smile. And when someone tells you that your numbers are not that great or you're not that, great of employee, you just got to remember you have a nest egg so you can think of innovative ways to be creative. And so that was my downfall is I would hang on to these jobs and, things didn't work out. And then once again, I had to keep stopping my life. So it's one of those things, the moment you get it started, you have to stop again. So being in entrepreneurship, I would have done it earlier. I know I can continue on the path of where I wanted to be.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, guys. So very important. How can people reach you? How they can contact you?
So we have our Facebook page, so you can message us through our Facebook page, which is Tuxedo Car Cleaning. And then we also have a website, which is www.tuxedocarcleaning.com. On there has our reviews, photos. It's got where you can actually message us straight through the website. And then also a cell phone. You can call 786-419-9988. We have an Instagram page as well, but I'm not very well versed on Instagram. I'm trying to get better on it. That's one of the things that I need to do this year. But we do have an Instagram page, but we're not very active on it, to be honest.
Well, we have a lot of clients and people that see us sometimes are women and they're planning to start a business. I'm sure if Rebecca, you can be available if they want to talk to you and know a little bit about your experience. I think so. Women go through the experience of entrepreneurship differently than men. Sometimes we see things differently, and that will be great. And the same, Derek, I'm sure that a lot of people there, they want to know more. Maybe even people that wants to start a car detailing business, maybe will be great for you guys to talk with them too. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming today. It was a pleasure again, and thank you for being part of this and sharing your experience with us and everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming today, seeing our live. We'll be here at 12 noon every day doing lives. Between 12 and 12:30, we'll be here. We will have more guests. We have a guest coming on next week, on Tuesday. He's an IT support specialist, and he will share us with his experience and his journey from his business to the success he has achieved. Once again, I'm Gus Romero. I'm a business coach. If you have a business that you want to show to the world and you want to share your experience, please text me. We can talk about it. We can have an interview. You can share your experience. If you're an employee that currently is looking into open your own business, planning to open a business one day, talk to me. I can help you with that process, and so you will become successful. And I assure you that. Thank you. Have a great day and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.